this is week 1, task 2. I am to write a video or develop a video to go along with my 400 to 500 word memo. This memo is is designed as a plan for the principal, and it's a 3-year plan on how to get certain groups of people, or the groups of people they have that need training, trained. The first group that is mentioned is teachers with 20 years of experience, resistant to technology, but excellent teachers. The second group are new teachers who use technology to have fun with the students, but it isn't purposeful or meaningful. And the third group is substitutes. Each of these groups I find have different criteria that must be met. So the first thing I'll do, or the first thing the instructor tells me to do, is to look at what I've looked at before, possibly my notes. So that's a good place to start as any. So I look at my notes. In the abstract says common excuses for limited use of technology to support instruction include shortage of computers, lack of computer skill, and computer intimidation. I think lack of computer skill and computer intimidation is something that could be for the first group, the teachers with more than 20 years of experience and are very resistant. I think that part would relate to them. The second one, degree of success teachers have in using technology could depend in part the relationship. I think that would apply to those also, because I don't think they look at technology as something that enhance their curriculum. I think they more look at it as a new fad. So I might want to look at that. Well, here, educational technology might include media, projected, non-projected, visual, as well as audio, digital media, video and digital media. Of course, these authors claim that some educators may take an error review. I think that is a lot of it. Because some of these teachers could be already using technology, or probably already are using technology. Okay. Technology integration. Process of using existing tools, equipment, and materials to include electronic media. Resources in order to facilitate learning also involves a selection of suitable technology based on learning needs of the students, as well as the ability of teachers to adapt to such technology. I think again that goes in with the first group. So that yes would be what I would be looking at. Infusing technology in curriculum is less likely to make impact on student. Technology is not considered as a component of the instruction. Uh, Technology should not be treated as a separate entity. And I think the second group, the new teachers, that will probably apply to them because they only consider technology to be used as fun and not methods of instruction or evaluation or anything else that has to do with the learning environment. And it's so much easier to play games with the students instead of teaching them meaningful information. Okay, the teacher should be able to assess the appropriateness of any technology used for teaching and learning in relation to specific instruction. I think that to me falls in with the new teachers because their experience level is not there. And so where they have the technology, they need to also know how to blend it with the curriculum. Okay, let me see. Here's a critical issue, promoting technology use in schools. It changes teachers' instructional rules in the classroom. A shift from facilitator or coach rather than lecturer. I think that that may be one of the primary reasons for resistance. They don't know how to conduct their classroom in that atmosphere. Let me see. Learning new roles, ways to teach go hand in hand with technology and requires teachers have opportunity to participate in extended process of professional development. Teachers need time to acquire technology skills and develop new this is it. This is one of those things for the first group, the teachers who have very little technology. That's what I use because it's not, once you teach it to them, I mean, you may give them a class, but if they're not going to be able to get out there and use it and play with it, and it's only going to be once in a while until everybody gets trained and on board, then that pretty much is a waste of time. But again, that's one of those things that, except for occasional in-service programs, teachers often have no time built into the school day for their own professional development. Okay, teaching with technology. Let me see. It has education. Okay. A teacher from 50 years ago would probably feel right at home in most of today's classrooms. as most technologies and innovations introduced during this time have been discarded. Not sure I agree with that one. I mean, maybe on certain. Of course, yeah, that would probably be true. I know they'd like the buildings better. Especially the air conditioning in Vegas. Oh, I have to get the sidetracked. Anyways, have all educational technologies really just been fads of innovation that educators have correctly denounced as irrelevant and unnecessary? That I think it just questions the use of it. Perhaps that isn't something that I need to use on this. Some of this discrepancy is due, key factors to consider. Lack of comfort, yep. The first group, they're not comfortable with using technology. Who knows what the substitutes are comfortable using, because they only come in maybe once or twice a month, if not once or twice every 6 months, it depends. So that group, I just, that one's going to be hard. Even teachers who are using technology report a high degree of comfort with technology, tend to use it in fairly rigid ways. Such as search for the word processing, communicating with other teachers. Even high quality training, if used in isolation, is not sufficient. That is true, because if the teacher is not, if the teacher's only being trained, then and then not showing how to use it with the curriculum, it isn't going to work. Every school is different needs, resources, several factors. Result success decisions not to integrate is related to a combination of negative feelings about technology. I think that's what the teachers with more than 20 years of experience are going to be facing, because they did it they did it this way for a long period of time. Of course, other articles I've read also said that students, 43% of students who graduate don't feel like they had enough educational use with technology. The findings raise how teacher training development can be structured to help teachers rationally adjust uncertainty and risk in technology integration, learning, experimentation, and possible change. Well, those were my notes. I'm not sure. I know there was a little bit. Those first two seemed to really fit in with what I was looking for, so I probably will use that. But I think I'm going to go back to the websites and check into those and see what else those articles say. Okay, so my notes had a little bit, but I wanted to look at the articles that I took them from. So this way, such as paid release time for planning independent practice without fear of embarrassment, collaboration are fruitful avenues for Okay, another list. Financial support is providing classroom embedded mentoring, tutoring, and follow-up. Yeah, I think more. I think, maybe that would be. I think it would be for substitutes that I would use that. Job security can be as powerful as an incentive as money. Oh, that really sounds good. You don't learn this, you're gonna get fired. Yeah. Okay, that doesn't. What are the less traditional incentives? Teachers can earn credit hours for spent in technology, professional development. They can use credit to receive loans of hardware and software for discount. I don't know. If they don't want to use the technology as it is, why would they want to use that stuff at home? I think they need to have maybe the free internet account for their personal use after completing the internet workshop. That was back in '98. I don't think they did. Materials for their peers. Achieve goals and objectives. I'm thinking that, looking at this, let's just look at the first group. Okay, the first group are teachers with 20 years or more experience, and they're excellent teachers. Well, they didn't get to be excellent teachers by sitting on their behind, not doing anything. So that does show that they are motivated. I think like that one, job security. I don't think that would be more off-putting than motivational for these people. Unless, of course, there's everybody around them is getting laid off. Yeah, then that would be motivational. But I just don't see using negative motivation or negative. I don't think it'd impact it in the long run. I think if you use negative, if you're negative about it, if you use negative motivation, I think that would have the reverse consequences of what you really would need. You really want. You want them to accept the technology. You want them to use it. You don't want any more fighting on it, because the resistance is definitely fighting on it. They don't want to do it, and so there has to be a more positive incentive. And who knows, they're excellent teachers. They could be self-motivating. I mean, you're talking about a group of teachers who, after 20 years, are still motivated. No, I say business may become more involved both financially and professionally. I was thinking of financial incentives. That always would bring people. Uh, I'm really not sure. Okay, my computer's locked up. Okay. Um, just-in-time technology support. Flexibility, managing technology to have equity of access. Yeah, that's it. Professional development is considered an important part of the technology plan and the technology budget. I think that's a lot of it. We put so much money into the equipment that we don't really put it into the people that are using it. And that requires time. And teachers need the time. So that's what I'm going to focus on. What we need to do. We need to give them time to be able to know how to use the equipment to successfully integrate it into their curriculum. I think that's. And then also the additional time is to get comfortable using it, because nobody wants to be in front of a group of people and have your presentation or whatever you were going to do stop and not work, or a system crash. Well, of course, nobody can prevent system crash. Action options. Pursue funding strategies. Access user quota 7. Beware factors of effective use of for teaching and learning. Develop sure equitable use of technology. Preparing teachers for the digital age. I think a lot of these teachers will look at you and say, okay, whatever. Encourage teachers own technology integration goals as part of their individual professional development. Yep. Now that is true. I think that is more than on target. That's they're self-motivating. They know how to get there on their own if you just tell them and provide them a little help. So I think I'll focus on that part of it for that group. The next group I will consider, or I'm looking at, is the new teachers who are comfortable with technology. This, I think I'm going to use the Journal of Technology article. It seems to be more geared to what we're looking for in that, or what I'm looking for in that. And teaching and learning technology should be applied as a process rather than a single isolated discrete activity. That's true. I mean, I really think, though, that these teachers really just need to be taught how to integrated. I mean, you know, they have the technology, so that's not going to be the problem. It's how to put it together with their curriculum. That's probably going to be an issue. But I'm at the end of the 30 minutes for this video. I'll pick it up in part 2, where I'll not only discuss my thought process on the second group, but also go ahead and discuss the substitutes, and go over my memo as it came out, to see where I could have, or to review it before I turn it in.